Your life was saved?
My life was saved, yes.
Yeah.
So this is basically, I was in Afghanistan for Passover 2014. And in May of 2014, I redeployed to the States. And on the way back, I was told that I'm going to have a reset time. And I, still being relatively new, not as new, but still relatively new to the Army, I was still figuring out all of the cycles and so on. I wasn't with a unit, so I was out of cycle for the deployment. I had to learn all the different redeployment processes. But I was told you won't deploy for at least a year. They're going to give you time. Well, 4 months later, and very early in the morning, I get a phone call, and the gentleman on the other side of the line is introducing himself as someone from the Pentagon that tells me that Rabbi Jacob Goldstein was supposed to deploy. However, at the time, this is what I was told. He had a heart attack and he cannot deploy. And they went down the list. I'm the first person that's green.
Bang.
My flight is 2 p.m. that day. So I said, okay, I'm going to go pack. But
speak to your wife.
I'm going to bring the news to her. But that said, I work for a commander.
Yeah.
I would feel a whole lot better if the Pentagon tells my commander I'm about to deploy than it's coming from me. So I give them my commander's number. And my wife got up in the meantime. She heard the conversation. So she said, she'll start packing. I should go to morning formation to talk to my commander, face to face. I get to morning formation. This is 6:15 in the morning, Central Time. So this is early in the morning. I show up to the formation, and my first sergeant tells me, "Commander is in his office, wants to see you." I'm like, okay. As I walk in just in time to, and I have like the picture in my mind of the setting, my commander's on the phone with the Pentagon, and I could hear him say, "It's not a problem. I just have one request. I want him to have dinner with his kids before he deploys. Can we push his flight to after dinner time?" And the Pentagon basically agreed to push my flight by 2 days. Fast forward, this has had some other stories along the way of encounters, but fast forward, I get to Afghanistan, and I switch from the fixed wing to a helicopter, and the helicopter flies into Kabul. Just to give you a visual of the flying from Bagram to Kabul, usually the gunners have their guns facing down, and they're looking for threats. They're scanning their sectors. When they get towards Kabul, Kabul is on a mountainside. The guns start their sector now is also above us.
Wow. Yeah.
So you never.
You're now the low ground.
You're exactly, and the reality is setting in also. Well, the chopper lands, and a Marine captain comes up to the helicopter to introduce himself, helps me with my bags actually, and tells me, we're going to go to a ground convoy. Don't unpack anything, we're going to move on to another base via ground convoy. And on the way to the ground convoy, he shows me a few blown up vehicles. Tells me, I'll tell you soon what it is. We get to the other compound. He tells me, those blown up vehicles, they had your name on it. I go, come again? It says 2 days ago, the convoy that was supposed to take the Jewish chaplain from this base to this base got blown up. And there were several Afghan nationals that died in that, several, I'm talking about 17 or 19 that died. It was a
targeted hit to kill.
But I did not know if it was targeting me or whatever, but I knew that I was supposed to be
your name was on the list
2 days ago, and I wasn't there.
Wow.
So when a few weeks later, I got a visit in the chapel from one of the aides to the commanding general, and they said, we want you to do a memorial ceremony for this Afghan unit that lost people. It was a memorial ceremony for all the Afghans lost that past 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever period. And I realized I'm essentially leading a memorial that I
Was
I should have been
in it.
memorialized. And reality again set in. My life was saved. I called at the time, I called Rabbi Goldstein from Afghanistan, but he was busy trying to fix himself and so on. Fast forward about a half a year later, I'm back home, and one day I get a phone call from Rabbi Goldstein, and he's like, Mendy, are you sitting? I have something to tell you. And he goes on to tell me that he got a call from a family member, a shliach in Arizona, I believe, or somewhere, and basically an officer comes into the Chabad house and tells him the whole story, how he was convoy commander and he knew intelligence and so on. And he goes on to say how the miracle of the chaplain, the rabbi not being on the convoy that blew up. And the shliach says, you know what, let me call my uncle, who is Rabbi Goldstein, and see, maybe he knows who the chaplain is. And Rabbi Goldstein did simple math. He said it was Mendy Stern. Fast forward, by the way, Rabbi Goldstein didn't have a heart attack. It was a false alarm.
Baruch Hashem.
His life was saved, and my life was saved.
Wow.
Because he didn't end up deploying. He would have been on that.
He would have been on that plane, but a complete 100%.
And my life was saved because I flew 2 days late. So all of this said, this is Ashgacha Pratis, one step after step after step. Now, I would encourage you. I could send you the pictures. If you send me a note, I'll send you the pictures of the memorial ceremony. I have all of these things. But this is, it's been a heck of a ride. Oh, 100%. So you asked me, your question was difficult days, or we're already moved on to the next question? I don't remember anymore.
Honestly, we're getting close to Shabbos, and I feel bad to.
That's what I'm saying. I could sit over here and give you
we
hours.
could be sitting here for
I have
3 or 4 hours.
I have one better. When you have a weekend or something, come visit us on the base.